Julius Randle absolutely screwed us yesterday. You can see we had him in a couple entries and a couple 5 flex plays. He was the last leg we needed for the 10x payout, but he didn't get it. He had a killer game, so he didn't go under. But regardless, one thing I always mention at the start of every video because it's literally so important. If you're playing on PrizePicks and you're not playing 5 and 6 pick flexes, we've gone through the math so many times, you don't stand a chance, right? You have to be playing 5 and 6 flexes. Those are mathematically optimal on PrizePicks, where you're getting roughly minus 119 odds. Whereas in a 2-pick power play, you're getting minus 137 odds. So when you look at OddsJam, right, when you look at the positive EV tool, you're going to see two different prices on PrizePicks. You're going to see right here, minus 137 juice on both sides. That's for a 2-pick power play. Horrible odds. If you play a 5 or a 6-pick flex, you're getting the equivalent of minus 119 on a sports book. And again, we've gone through this math tons of times. I'll put this sheet in the description if you want to spend more time looking around, backing out the math yourself. But you're not going to make money playing 2-pick power plays. You have to win 57.74% of your picks, right, to break even in a 2-pick flex. So for example, or a 2-pick power play, I apologize. If we're winning 56% of our plays of the picks I put out, if I'm winning 56%, right? If I'm playing 2-pick power plays, my ROI is negative 6%. Negative 6%, right? Whereas if I'm hitting 56% in a 6 flex, my ROI is 17.6% positive. That's like a swing of 25%, right? So these differences really matter. You have to be playing the 6 and the 5-pick flexes. But anyways, I'm talking a lot. Let's get into it. The first play I have is right here. Miko, over 2.5 shots on goal. So what you're going to notice is this is called the OddsJam screen. It just kind of, the screen is really useful. You know, you can look at any market you want to, but I find a lot of value in shots on goal props. Is it allows you to see where do books have the line set at different levels. So what you're going to notice is, hey, PrizePicks is at 2.5 for Miko, shots on goal. Underdog's at 3. And all the sports books are at 3.5, but there's some juice towards the under, right? Like minus 150, minus 160. So long story short, PrizePicks is too low. They're way too low, right? The jump from 2.5 to 3.5 shots on goal is massive, right? Like the probability Miko has exactly 3 shots on goal is really big. So we want to take Miko's over, right? PrizePicks is at 2.5, Underdog at 3. Their direct competitor platform works in basically the exact same way. And then sportsbooks are at 3.5, right? And there's not a ton of juice. It's not like this is minus 250 on the under 3.5. So we have to be on this over 2.5 shots on goal. That's the first play I love on PrizePicks for today. Then you can see I have some plays from the positive EV tool. So this tool is really easy to use. It's probably the main tool I use on OddsJam. So the screen, again, the screen is useful for seeing stuff like this, right? Where do sportsbooks have the line set at different levels, right? So you can imagine like, okay, here we can see another one, right? Cal Maker, his line is 3 on PrizePicks. On their direct competitor, Underdog Fantasy, his line's 3.5, and it's 3.5 on all the sportsbooks, right? So it seems like Cal over 3 is a pretty good play. So I use this screen to mainly look for differences, especially, you know, where do PrizePicks and Underdog, these are direct competitors, the platforms work in basically the exact same way, right? Where do they have different lines from one another? So, you know, but it's not like this screen is only useful for PrizePicks and Underdog. You can use this screen to look for value on any sports book, but you're basically looking for where do books have the line set at different levels, right? Like you can imagine, okay, on the screen, you're going to see Patrick Mahomes, his line is 260.5 passing yards on FanDuel. It's 280.5 on DraftKings, Pinnacle, MGM, right? You have tons of other data points telling you the line should be much higher at 280.5. You want to hammer that over 260.5, right? So the screen is useful for comparing lines set at different levels, right? Now the EV tool is different. The EV tool compares when books have the line set at the same level. So here you can see Dylan Cousins. Every book has his line at 2.5 shots on goal. But the reason we played this, right? So if I go to my open entries, here you can see my first pick. I have 3 picks open. So I'll start with this first one if you want to take a look, or we'll start here. So you can see Dylan Cousins under 2.5 shots on goal. We have that Miko over, right? I'm just showing you guys what I put my own hard-earned money on. We have Miko over. Underdog was at 3. All the books were at 3.5. This is a sharp play with an edge. And then you're going to see these 3 plays are just from the EV tool, right? So we have Miko over 2.5 shots on goal, Jaren Jackson over 1.5 threes, De'Aaron Fox under 6.5 assists, Dylan Cousins under 2.5 shots on goal, Bam under 29.5 points plus rebounds. And again, like, follow the data. We know we're getting minus 119 odds in a 5 or a 6 flex. All of the sports books are pricing this around, minus 145 maybe on average, minus 140. FanDuel minus 146, Pinnacle right here. We copy Pinnacle odds for this OddsJam column, so you can see Pinnacle has this minus 148. So we're getting 29 cents of improvement from Pinnacle, the sharpest bookmaker in the world. Bet Online has this minus 141. So all these sports books are pricing this, around minus 140. We're getting minus 119 in a 5 or a 6 flex. Clear value, that's a play we want to be on, right? So here's the second play I went with. So you're going to notice the only difference is we're taking out the Bam play, and I'm putting in Hayes over 11.5 rebounds plus assists. I like that play more than the Bam play, but kind of diversifying. I say this all the time, but sometimes I split up my plays. And then here's my final one, where I just take out Cousins and I put in Josh Okogie under 19.5 PRAs. So a few different slips, all with roughly the same picks, and you can see, we're either looking for line discrepancies on the screen. Miko's line is 3.5 on the sports books, 3 on Underdog. PrizePicks is at 2.5. We want to take the over because the line is set at different levels. Whereas the EV tool tells us, hey, every book has Cousins' line at 2.5 shots on goal, but they all have the under heavily favored, heavily juiced. Same for Fox assists, right? Just following the data. All the books have Fox assists around minus 140 odds. We're getting minus 119 in a flex. Clear value. It's kind of like, what's crazy is it's kind of like I give this example sometimes is the price of Bitcoin right now is 24.063K. It's not like you'll be able to buy Bitcoin on one platform. There's a bunch of platforms, Coinbase, where you can buy Bitcoin. It's not like you're going to go to Bitcoin and see, hey, you want to buy Bitcoin at $20,000, right? There's not massive price discrepancies between the places, the exchanges where you can buy Bitcoin. But you can see here, between sports books, there's massive discrepancies. For the exact same bet, the exact same asset, right? This bet is always graded the same way. If he has under 2.5 shots on goal, this bet will win, right? So literally these massive discrepancies in prices are crazy if you think about it. This is the exact same bet, right? If he has 0, 1, or 2 shots on goal, it's going to win on every platform, but there's massive discrepancies in the odds you're getting. That's what's so crazy. So basically, because PrizePicks doesn't vary payouts, based on you selecting the over or the under, all OddsJam is doing is pulling in all these lines, comparing them to the sports books, and showing you, hey, here's where the sports books, especially the sharper books like Pinnacle and Bet Online, where they have the under heavily favored, right? So getting the under on PrizePicks is a steal deal. All the sports books are telling you this under should be heavily favored, around minus 148, minus 140, minus 145. You can get it minus 119 in a flex play. That's clear value. That's a play you got to be on. So play 1, play 2. So a lot of EV plays, but hopefully this video was helpful. And let's make some money today, guys.